All right, let's dive right into the explainer that officially caps off our time series in finance block. Today, we're taking raw stock data and turning it into actionable signals using TA-Lib. If you've been following along with us, you know we've been building up this, well, incredibly powerful toolkit. And today is where we snap that final piece right into place. So to start off, let's remember that we already successfully grabbed all that raw price and volume data using Y-Finance in our previous explainer. And hey, that was a massive step. But having the data is really just the beginning, isn't it? Now we're faced with a critical question. We have all this raw stock data, now what? Well, we need to mathematically transform that raw fuel into something we can actually use to make informed decisions.
And that transformation? That's exactly what a technical indicator is. You can think of it like a highly specialized engine. It takes those basic raw numbers and churns them into recognizable trading patterns, mapping out trends, tracking momentum, or measuring volatility. It basically takes a huge amount of the guesswork out of reading the tape.
Section 1. The Core 4 Key Trading Signals.
So each TA-Lib function maps directly to a very specific market insight. We've got indicators for trend, momentum, volatility, and momentum shifts. And the best part is, they're all paired with a delightfully simple, single-line function. We're going to break these down right now, starting with, quite possibly, the most fundamental one of the whole bunch, the simple moving average.
The simple moving average, or SMA, really does exactly what it sounds like. It averages the price out over a fixed recent window, let's say the past 20 days, to smooth out those random day-to-day fluctuations. Think of it like filtering out the daily market static so you can actually hear the music. As new data rolls in, that SMA window just shifts forward accordingly, which makes the true underlying trend of a stock considerably easier to identify.
Next up, we have the Relative Strength Index, or RSI. Calling the RSI function gives us a quick, single numerical score right between 0 and 100 to help flag potential pullbacks. If a stock shoots up way too fast, kind of like stretching a rubber band to its absolute limit, it hits overbought territory. Conversely, if it tanks too quickly, it enters oversold territory. Honestly, it's just a fantastic way to put a strict, objective numerical value on market momentum.
Then we move right over to volatility with Bollinger Bands. And this connects beautifully back to the standard deviation concepts we talked about previously regarding pandas. Calling the BBA-NDS function conveniently returns a central moving average, perfectly flanked by an upper and a lower band. It essentially gives you this dynamic visual envelope of where a stock's price normally lives.
And finally, we have MACD, which is short for Moving Average Convergence Divergence. The MACD is a bit more of a sophisticated indicator. It identifies shifts in overall momentum by comparing moving averages from completely different time frames. When you run this, it actually returns 3 distinct components for your analysis: the MACD line, a signal line, and a histogram representing the difference between them. It is incredibly powerful for spotting exactly when a trend is losing steam or, just starting to heat up.
Section 2. The Need for Speed. T-Lib versus Pandas.
Now you might be thinking, can't pandas just do this? Well, while pandas can technically calculate a moving average using its rolling method, doing that manually across thousands of different stock tickers is absolutely going to slow you down. TA-Lib, on the other hand, is actually written in compiled C code under the hood. This gives it a massive NumPy-style performance advantage when you're calculating complex indicators across tons of different stocks at scale. It is built purely for speed and efficiency.
However, that incredible speed does come with just a slight catch during your setup. You genuinely must install that underlying C library first before running your standard pip install command. The Python package itself is really just a wrapper. Without that C library installed first, the engine simply won't run, so definitely keep that in mind.
Section 3. Hidden Superpowers. Automated Pattern Recognition.
Here is where things get really cool. TA-Lib isn't just about the raw math. It can actually kind of look at shapes for you. It features dozens of automated functions for Candlestick pattern recognition. Functions like CDL Doji act as your own personal automated analyst, instantly detecting well-known visual price patterns like the Doji at scale without you ever having to examine a single chart by hand. Just imagine scanning the entire S&P 500 for a very specific visual shape and doing it in less than a second. It's a total game changer.
Section 4. Building the engine, the practical workflow.
Okay, let's tie this all together. Here is our entire data pipeline journey in 3 beautifully simple steps. Step 1. We grab the raw fuel using Y-Finance. Step 2.
We process that fuel into momentum signals using TA-Lib's RSI function. In step 3, we use pandas to filter specifically for our oversold condition, which would be dates where the RSI drops below 30. And just like that, you have a completely functional, automated stock screening workflow in just a handful of lines of code.
Section 5, the reality check, strategy and responsible analysis.
All right, let's purposely slow things down for a second here, because we need to talk honestly about financial forecasting. Technical indicators, they are just mathematical transformations of historical data. That's it. They absolutely do not guarantee any specific future outcome whatsoever. Responsible analysis means recognizing that these numbers, well, they aren't magic crystal balls. They are tools, and they must always be combined with a broader understanding of a company's underlying fundamentals and the overall market context. So, to keep your feet firmly on the ground, let's run through some practical best practices. First, definitely rely on TA-Lib's compiled C implementations for efficiency, instead of trying to do manual pandas math. Second, always combine your technical indicators with that broader fundamental analyses we just talked about. And third, utilize that automated pattern recognition for analyzing price charts at scale. By following these practices, you can build a genuinely comprehensive stock screening tool that responsibly aligns with your own specific investment strategy.
And wow, that brings us to the very satisfying conclusion of our entire time series and finance block. Let's just look at how far we've come. We started with rigorous statistical modeling using stats models. Then we moved right into accessible forecasting with Profit. Next, we captured real financial market data using Y-Finance. And now we've extracted specialized technical indicators using TA-Lib. We are leaving this block with one incredibly powerful, complete toolkit spanning statistics, forecasting, data acquisition, and specialized analysis. How cool is that?
But of course, our journey doesn't end here. We've mastered the complex math, sure, but how do we properly generate professional documentation for all these projects so that other people can actually understand our brilliant code? In our next explainer, we are moving into Block 17 to tackle documentation using Sphinx, so make sure you're subscribed because we still have 21 more incredible Python packages ahead of us. Until then, I want you to ask yourself, what good is building a flawless, high-speed financial signal engine if you can't clearly document and share exactly how you built it? Think about it. See you in the next explainer.